So Midday Lycanroc has 115 attack and 112 speed, which is pretty much the only thing that matters because it's going to be more of a glass cannon anyway, and more of either a cleanup and just take out and just be outspeed everything and take them out, or just come in and just do damage. That's all Lycanroc is, a glass cannon, but with 55 special attack, it's not going to do anything specially, and with 75 health, 65 defense, and special defense, you're not going to take many hits. Plus, being a rock typing, it has a lot of weaknesses. Fighting, ground, steel, water, and grass. Especially for being a pure typing, it has a lot of weaknesses. It resists normal flying, poison, fire though, so you can switch in on those hits, but they'll still do a lot of damage. And I wouldn't really recommend, unless you're running Life Orb, I wouldn't really recommend switching it on a hit because most of the time you're gonna run Sash. But you can survive some. Pretty much super effective hits are going to take you out, and some strong neutral hits are going to take you out. But the abilities are Keen Eye, Sand Rush, and Steadfast. Keen Eye and Steadfast are really situational. You won't get those very often. Or Keen Eye, Steadfast you'll get less, like unless you get faked out, which if you have a Sash kind of defeats the purpose. It kind of sucks. But unless you get faked out, for the most part, you won't really activate Steadfast. And Keen Eye, Dynamax already ignores accuracy, or evasion. So not many people are going to try to do minimize or whatever because somebody could just Dynamax and ignore it. But Sand Rush is the best one. Also, being pure rock typing, it doesn't really matter for Lycanroc, for example, but being a rock typing, you get an extra 50% special defense in a Sandstorm. And Sandstorm, it's not really going to matter that much. It's not going to help Lycanroc. It might help Lycanroc survive a hit or two, but his best ability, I would say, is Sand Rush. Just because, like, Sand Rush, Dynamax Sand Rush was his best ability, I would say. But for the most part, also it really helps to have Sand Rush just in case there's a Sandstorm. It doesn't hurt because the other two are so situational. But pretty much the main way, not the main way, but one of the ways you can run him is Focus Sash, Jolly, and just 4 offensive moves. Stone Edge for stab. Close Combat I think Close Combat and Stone Edge you pretty much have to run. They're the best 2 moves that he has. And the other 2 moves, at least for this set, the other 2 moves, Play Rough, Psychic Fangs, it's whatever you want. You can run Play Rough, Psychic Fang, or you can run one of these moves. Well, Psychic Fangs here again, but whatever move you want in that last spot. Because he has pretty good coverage. Drill Run, Crunch, Iron Head, Play Rough, Psychic Fangs. Like, he has pretty good coverage. This is what you need to cover out, or what you're worried about running into. I like Psychic Fangs, though. And Psychic Fangs and Play Rough, the ones I chose, they have the most damage. But Drill Run's really good coverage and it has a high crit ratio. Crunch hits dark types. He also learns Fire Fang too. I wouldn't really run it. Is that the only thing? I think he also learns Thunder Fang. Yeah, he learns both of those. But I wouldn't really run those because they are so low power that unless you're against like a Ferrothorn, it's not worth. Like, it would be better just to run Drill Run. But against steel types, for example, but things like flying, things like Skarmory or Corviknight could cause a problem because they'll just take whatever hit you do and then hit you with a super effective steel. But that's not a good matchup anyway for Lycanroc. But pretty much the plan with this is either you bring the Lycanroc in as a cleanup at the very end and you just take everything out, or you just switch them in and you hit them twice and KO them. They hit you, you hit them, they hit you, pocket the Sash, and then you take them out. This could be a really good though, like, counter to a setup, a Pokemon that's set up. They hit you, or they have a Sash or whatever, they're set up. You can also run Accelerock too, if you're worried about Sashes. It also learns Sucker Punch and Accelerock. If you're worried about things that have a Focus Sash or stuff like that, you can come in and Accelerock and take them out. But pretty much, just you just come in, do damage, get a hit, and take them out. And if they switch in something slower, you get another free hit. But this is a Dynamax Lycanroc, which is a Dynamax Lycanroc. Close Combat, Max Knuckle Razor Attack. Stone Edge brings a Sandstorm, which is really good because that procs Sand Rush. So the plan with this Lycanroc more is to come in Dynamax and take something out with the Rock. I forgot what it's called, but the Rock Max move to get the Sandstorm. So then you'll get Sand Rush and you'll get the Special Defense. As Dynamax, it matters a little bit more, the Special Defense. It'll help more because you have so much more health, but... And then the other 2 moves, again, I would run Psychic Terrain, or Psychic Things would be good here for the Psychic Terrain. Play Rough if you want the Misty Terrain. Crunch lower Special Defense. Drill Run raises Special Defense. Iron Head raises defense. I would between Psychic Fangs and Play Rough. If you want the effects, I would just go with these two. But if you want the coverage, you can choose something from here. But again, Lycanroc is just what you want. This is more of a... I'm a Swords Dance and sweep Lycanroc. Just, I'm going to come in, I'm going to Swords Dance, take your hit, and then try to one-shot everything. I ended up picking Keen Eye for this one because you have a Sash, so Steadfast is pretty much useless. Because either you're not going to... If you get flinched, then you're not going to Swords Dance, which means it's not good on this one. But Sand Rush, I wouldn't... I mean, you can run Sand Rush. I would run Keen Eye just in case. So, like, a Bright Powder or something like that. But it wouldn't hurt to run between with these two. I would pick Keen Eye, though, just in case. But pretty much, come in, Swords Dance, take a hit, and just try to sweep everything with Closed Combat, Stone Edge. You could replace Stone Edge with Rock Slide for any of the movesets if you don't want to deal with the accuracy. Because if you miss a Stone Edge at 1 health, it's over for you. Play Rough. I like Play Rough in this last spot. Psychic Fang is good for fighting types. Play Rough is also good for fighting types. I just like the 90-90 with... I like the 90 power with Play Rough, but Psychic Fang is a good second, or whatever other move. I like between Play Rough or Psychic Fangs that last spot. But it's pretty much Lycanroc because he learns anything special you can't use. Agility, there's no point of raising your speed. You're not going to do enough damage to back it up. Bulk Up, I'd rather Swords Dance is just better than Bulk Up on this Pokemon because it's not gonna matter. Hyper Voice is special. Like, he doesn't learn, like, he learns the moves that I've showed, and that's pretty much it that you can use. Why would you run Rock Polish? Same as Agility. Rock Tomb, you're not bulky enough, so that's how you use Lycanroc and that's how you use Midday Lycanroc in Pokemon Sword and Shield.